Hello folks, aren't you glad we weren't here when dinosaurs were around? Yeah, those monsters seem pretty cool in theory, but imagine coming face to face with one. Now, while the spooky, gigantic, and terrifying prehistoric animals are now extinct, there are still plenty of huge creatures inhabiting our planet. Believe it or not, even right now, some of these are undiscovered. But the few that have been found could potentially blow your socks off. So buckle up, because here's a list of 10 of the largest creatures ever captured by humans. Let's get it on. Largest croc ever. At 20.24 feet long, Long from the Philippines is the largest crocodile ever captured by human beings. Before it spent the last year of its life in captivity, it was suspected of attacking several people and even killing 2. Did you know that this absolutely humongous croc weighed around 2,370 pounds? After it was captured in 2011 and put on display, many curious people came to take a look at it, and as a result, it had a significant impact on crocodile conservation in the Philippines. The country's Senate literally introduced a resolution to protect the saltwater crocodile and the Philippine crocodile, a species that's considered to be critically endangered. Rest in peace, Long. Your legacy will live on forever. 80-ton elephant. Now, we're sure everyone knows that elephants are the largest living animals, but one we're about to show you right now is massive, even by elephant standards. This is an 80-ton beast that was captured and subsequently kept in captivity in the wildlife sanctuary in Tanzania. This giant creature's tusks alone are as big as a human being. And obviously, it's so incredibly strong that pretty much every animal scares away at just the sight of it. Honestly, we can't even imagine how they managed to capture this. Man-bat. You've heard of a billionaire superhero, Batman. Now let us introduce you to the world's largest and most terrifying bat, the Mega Bat. This creature was caught by military personnel in the Philippines, and once footage went viral, people all over the world were absolutely fascinated, and for good reason. These bats have a wingspan that can stretch up to 6 feet, along with a body and head of over 11 inches long. What's more, they can even weigh more than 2.5 pounds, which makes them the largest bats on the entire planet. While bats have always been at the center of horror flicks, the recent discovery of these super large ones may actually reinvigorate that trope. They're also called flying foxes. If you're starting to get a little scared, don't worry. These may look terrifying, but they're really not a threat to humans. They mainly feed on fruit, nectar, and pollen, not human blood. My anaconda don't want none. Nature never ceases to amaze us. Just when you think you've seen everything, something super strange and out there will present itself to remind you that you should always expect the unexpected. At a construction site in Brazil, a 33 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 880-pound anaconda was discovered. It's not yet known if this monster died in the controlled explosion due to which it was found, or by the workers who were taken aback by the sheer size. Now, did you know that while anacondas are considered very scary creatures, they're actually not venomous? Instead, what they do is constrict their prey because of how long they are, and then choke the life out of them. They usually attack deers, crocodiles, large birds, and very rarely human beings. What would you do if you came across a 33 feet long snake? Let us know in the comments below. A giant blob. This story comes from the shores of San Antonio in Oriental Mindoro in the Philippines. Around 4 years ago, a massive, hairy blob washed up, and locals were absolutely terrified. How long are we talking? Well, this carcass was over 20 feet long. It was coated in white, shaggy hair, and the blob actually looked like it was melting. The smell on the beach that day was worse than anything you can possibly imagine. The reason locals were so scared is because the so-called globster is considered to be a bad omen in those areas. Soon, however, scientists discovered that this decomposing creature was actually the dead body of a giant whale that had died some time ago. Modern-day dinosaurs. In the gorgeous rainforest of Australia, you can find absolutely terrifying and gorgeous giant cassowaries. These creatures are often referred to as modern-day dinosaurs, and they are considered to be direct descendants of the velociraptors. These flightless birds are considered to be some of the most threatening creatures on the planet because of how territorial they are. If they notice a human walking near them, they will not hesitate to attack. which is why scientists urge people to not feed or approach them under any circumstances. Plus, these creatures can grow up to be 5.8 feet tall. Yeah, almost as tall as Lionel Messi. Sadly though, these fascinating creatures are currently endangered and authorities are trying their best to protect them. Some of them have been captured and are under expert care. Supersized sea slug. The Black Sea hare, or a sea slug, is the largest slug on the planet. This slimy, slippery creature can weigh up to 30 pounds, and it literally looks straight out of a sci-fi film. The species we're talking about was captured by Coyote Peterson, the infamous host of Discovery's Brave Wilderness series. This so-called slug is so massive that he literally has to hold it like you'd hold a dog or a cat. It was around 2 feet long and weighed around 10 pounds. Again, while they may look super creepy, they are pretty harmless. They literally can't bite, are herbivores, and don't release any toxic chemicals. Still, we imagine anyone crossing paths with one of these might have had a giant shock. After all, no one expects slugs to be this big. Who's a good boy? Okay, so we have to admit, this one is kind of adorable. This insanely massive creature is not a bear. It's actually a dog called the Central Asian Shepherd. Now, unlike most pics on this list, this one wasn't captured when it was gigantic. The owner bought it when it was just a cute little pup, and he had no idea that it would grow into this gigantic beast. By the time it was 2 years old, it literally outgrew its owner. Because of its extraordinary size, it has a very special diet and exercise routine to stay healthy. Plus, don't judge the doggo by its appearance. It's actually a very good boy, and all it wants to do is play and eat food. Yeah, it's literally a gentle giant. Tiger King. Tigers are pretty much the bullies of the jungle, and because of their super speed and strength, they can take on just about anyone. But did you know that certain tigers can even terrify members of their own species? This 700-pound Siberian tiger living in a zoo in Florida is so terrifying that when it walks in, all the other big cats run away with their tails between their legs. It doesn't even have to do anything to scare them. All it has to do is exist, and everyone around it knows who's boss. What an absolute unit! The spectacular stingray. Stingrays are generally pretty adorable and gentle creatures. They swim in the ocean water and mind their own business. But if they're disturbed or stepped on by unaware swimmers, they will not hesitate to sting you. Now, earlier this year in June, a local fisherman caught an absolutely ginormous stingray in Mekong River, Cambodia. So how big are we talking here? Well, this incredible creature measures about 13 feet long and weighs a whopping 660 pounds. It is the largest freshwater fish ever recorded, and we have to say it looks absolutely terrifying. It beat the previous freshwater record holder, a 646-pound catfish also found in the Mekong River. This stingray being so large is actually a good sign, and it indicates that this stretch of the Mekong River is still relatively healthy. Thankfully, it was saved by the wonders of the Mekong Conservation Project and is still living its best life. Alright, which of these supersized creatures did you find the most interesting? How would you react if you ever saw one of these in real life? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to TRENDJOINT, and we'll see you in the next one.